What's up everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel. So, I don't look so good because there are several reasons for that. First, and the main one is because I'm still don't feel so good. I had a pretty strong cold. And there are also other reasons, and one of them is that just out of nowhere, the opportunity for me to start running a nightclub showed up, and I did accepted it, even though I was never thinking in that direction. So this is one really big thing in my life right now. We are working day night in making this work out. So I already have the Instagram page and we start with the marketing, and we hope we're gonna start working from middle of December in Belgrade. So the club name will be Cube, and it's going to be in industrial area, and I'm gonna keep some information, but I will let you know as soon as this becomes more solid. Anyway, there are also other things which I want to share with you, and that is that Psychedelic Tips World 3 is at a discount price because of the Black Friday. I know it's too early, but I know this is not something that you can plan to buy in one day, so I'm giving you at least decent amount of time to consider. So the discounted price is now 99 euros, and again it's 22 hours course coming with a bunch of the files, and also it's going to be involved not the project, but I did print out all the samples, as my idea was that you should all start or making different arrangements, and that you can practice a little bit, and as well to create or start working on your workflow. So again, now the whole track which I made in Psychedelic Tips World 3 is this project over here, and in this project I want to refer to this power of simplicity. So once I made the whole course, I had this focus, and this is something that I talk lately a lot about in all this episode about reviewing other people's music. And this is also something that I need to learn, and something that I don't do that good. So the power of simplicity. So once we sit in front of a computer, as I said many times, and this is something which I really believe is the most important thing, is that we're gonna start dealing with many different segments at once, or many different processes. So we're gonna start writing melodies, we're gonna start applying some sound design, we're gonna start programming the beats whatsoever, but the main or the central figure producing the whole track, having the idea and how the whole track flow is created, is in my opinion the most important from all. Even though if you don't have that good sound design, even though if you don't have that mixing skills, if you listen mostly on the arrangement and how to express the whole movement on development of the track can be interesting, and it will have this kind of value to people who listen to it. So there's going to be something that they can attach to. This is why I also believe is the most important thing. Now, I again say, like, I was working in many last years on increasing my sound design quality, my sound quality itself, in many aspects when it comes for writing music, but somehow I forgot, because all of this which we are dealing with is kind of behaving like a magnet. It takes us in, and it's really hard to get out. So once we go into sound design, it does change the perspective, because we are dealing with different processes. We are modulating and creating sounds, so we are kind of zoomed in into all these specific processes, while the whole picture somehow becomes not that important. And I believe that if you have this in your mind all the time, the whole journey for building up your careers is going to be way easier. Anyway, so I started to prepare the track for the release, so to final shaping everything, and also I did it like, I don't know, 6 or maybe a year ago. So I wanted to consider of making certain changes into this track and to try to pack it for the release. And I realized that, again, even though I'm talking about this, again, I did the same mistake. I did put way more sounds than it's needed, even though there's a bunch of the sounds, like so much of them. This is not the final one. So 146 channels, maybe some of them are empty, as you can see, none of those are playing here. But anyway, so all these white ones are the ones that have been muted from the original version, so I did mute all of them. I mean, if you check it like this is all like behaving like a one single shot sounds, because all of these are just the layers that I use just to increase the sound design quality, and by layering I'm creating a much better atmosphere in the whole track. So not necessarily they need to all to go to be seen as, I don't know, 7 tracks. They can be seen as a one, because they all create one momentum in a track. So it's kind of taking only one part, and it can be considered as a one single shot sound, even though I just wanted to use like different layers, like one. So there's a bit more movement and create something that's more interesting. Anyway, like most of them, I'm gonna bounce as a one, and I did this in Psychedelic Tips Vol 3. I did show like after the track is reaching the final, and I do think that the best way would be to bounce all of them into the one stems, as that way I'm not gonna have all of these considerations, like maybe changing the volume, maybe adding one more whatsoever. So in certain moment I want to reduce the amount of abilities for myself, and that way to lock a certain decisions which I made, so I don't lose my mind later on when it comes to like once I start coming or bringing the track to the final end, I want to have less and less possibilities, and that way help myself to finish it up much faster. Anyway, so there's going to be a link for a free video from Psychedelic Tips Vol 3, which I set long time ago, but I never advertised it. I just forgot about it. So there's going to be a page where you can check the free video in which I recorded and created this vocal sample. My mouse 3 button stopped working, which is pretty annoying. Anyway, I just need to find where is this vocal. Just a second. Basically the whole sequence was like this, but I decided to chop it out and to mute it in the areas where the melody goes. Anyway. Anyway, it's pretty interesting, and I did it live. I recorded this vocal and then I put a lot of processing, which you can check in this video. Though the main purpose of this video was the power of simplicity. So there was certain change, like I did put like only 4 bars as a break after this intro over here, which was originally done, but then I decided to like make a more space, like when this break was hitting in, like all these vocals have been at this part.
I want you to
transcend reality.
transcend.
And then it was starting here, because for a certain reason I just started tripping like it must be like 4 bars. It's at the beginning, so it's not that important when it comes for DJ friendly mixes. The most important is after, in the second part, that we do most of our decisions, just a second, most of our decisions and arrangements into 8 bars or 4 bars, so it's going to be easier for our DJs to mix them. But I'm gonna make the full video about that. Anyway, so what I decided is to close my eyes and not to check on the grid and whatsoever, and try to make the arrangements by the listening, by the feeling only. So what I did I move this backwards? Just a second. No, I did not. Yeah, so.
I want you to transcend reality, 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 reality,
So I started making this arrangement way more simpler, and I started muting all unnecessary sounds. So it was starting like this. So after this reality,
reality, reality, reality, reality, reality,
and then this. But then I realized it's a. I know some of you might like this more. It starts straight away, but for me, like there's an intro over here, and there's a lot of things happening in the intro. There's a certain rise, there's this vocal, the starting, and then I want to have like the dry kick and bass completely, so that people can enjoy this dry moment. And then from that moment where I had like a lot of things happening, and then I have this kind of a small break before the intro or before the kick and bass starting, I want to replace the whole silence with the kick and bass or the groove itself. And I want to keep it dry that way for a certain amount of time, and then I can start creating the story from the beginning. And that way there's a certain movement in a track, like there's a lot of information in the intro, there's a certain dramatic stop with a vocal, with a pure sentence, with a pure message, and then like the groove itself. So I already have 3 different parts. If I start making, or if I keep all of these single shot sounds at the beginning, first of all, many times this track will be mixed in a DJ sets and it's going to be played only on a headphones on the queue, so not many of you will be able to hear it. Of course, we can do it with a sync button today, but this is not the purpose of this video. I'm gonna talk about that as well in the same video, like DJ friendly mixes. And so I want to have this part dry, like with the kick and bass, with the groove itself, and then I want to start adding all of these single shot sounds and recreate the whole story from the beginning. So I did not finish this track. I'm gonna try to mute as much as I can without changing the track effectiveness. So this is what I say in all this review videos that I'm making. Like, simple and effective music is what the most of people like. And if you want to think about commercializing your music, now I'm using like super unpopular term like commercial, especially in a world of psytrance. I don't mean in a commercial in a way of with pop vocals and whatsoever, but commercial in a way that as most people possible can adopt it without you compromising your ideas or your taste. So that way, like, we can do a certain compromise that, for example, like with removing all extra sounds from our track, if you still like it, and as I do in my track, then I did not get out of my creative zone. I did not start making something else or starting making music that some other people do. So I still kept my own style, but just I did this compromise in order to relax it a little bit, because my way of working mostly is that I sometimes make music for myself, or that I try to satisfy my needs, and my needs are way higher from average listeners, because I'm dealing with this professionally. I'm listening every day, so I somehow in some moments and somehow I'm trying to impress myself or to impress some other producers, and I believe this is a wrong thing to do. It is a maybe good thing for practice once you get this knowledge, but on the end we should all listen to the music as average listeners, because not because of the majority, but it's just like this is how it should be. And most people don't like complex music, because complex is not for everyone. There's going to be a certain amount of people which will be able to absorb it, while if you just relax it and still keep your ideas and make this kind of a compromise, way more people can like your music and enjoy into your DJ sets, right? Yeah, let's go further. Okay, this sound which I muted is a bit extra, so from the beginning. All these extra noises, I'm sure, like after it happens, like there's certain, like even in this period over here, like in general, I just wanted to show this as the final consideration for making the arrangements way more easier, and also the whole track. Of course, I speak from my personal perspective, and I did hear in many of the reviews that some of the producers, even though they are still not on the level that they aim to be, but still that they're putting in more sounds than the track actually needs. So again, I'm learning a lot from reviewing other people's music and the whole educational stuff. If you wonder why I do it for free and what do I put it, honestly, this is something that I didn't even expect, but I learned so much for reviewing and making the videos, because after I'm recording a certain moments of my workflow, after I start, or in the moment when I start editing videos, I learn a lot. So if you want to consider it this way, like, you can put as much sounds as you want, you can play around, you can stretch it out, create a certain arrangement, and once you have it done, you can put it on the ice, as I like to call it. And this I do for every single track I make. Like, after I put a lot of effort and I create this confusion, I just let it to be for a certain amount of time, and I'm not listening to that track. I want to forget on it a little bit. I work on other tracks, and then after, I don't know, month, 2 or 3, sometimes even more if the conditions are allowing, I am reviewing that track, and then I have way better point of view on the whole track. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and sorry if this video was a little bit lame, but there was a lot of things which I wanted to say in this video, and I'm not sure did I manage to make it all as a one thing together. But I have this idea, like simple and effective, for a very long time, but it's not that easy to express what I wanted to say, and I really hope that this video helped you. Thank you very much for watching, and see you soon with another video. Bye.